All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on first down. Fields gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with Michelle. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on.
And intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Here we go, here we go. Hey, check.
Operating from the gun. Fields. And James has it. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Back to throw. Fields looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
9 yards on the first down. Keeper, and it's 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Justice Hill with touchdown number 8 on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Check 99. Check 99. 80 weapons. 57 the mark.
To throw on second down. Fields got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Hey, come on, oh, come on, oh. 57's the Mike. Watch 57.
Looking to throw. Fields. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Hey, let's get it to 6. He's checking crap.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10.
Watch the run. Time go. Time go. Echo. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
Throwing again. Fields. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Come on, set. Man, read. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike. Go. Let's get some penetration here.
On 1st and 10, Fields. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. A big play there on the option. 77 yards.
First down, Texans.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. A quick throw out wide to Fuller. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Closer, he's down to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, Fields. James has got it, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Michel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Check 20.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time He was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Check 37. Check 37. Showing up. Please.
To throw on third down. Fields. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 31-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Looking to throw. Fields. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, they run with Michel. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
New England on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun. Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
All day, just like that. Just like that. He's checking. Crack.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson, flush to his right. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Off of play action, it's Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
On second down, it's Hill. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. The kick by Fairbairn is good. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it, and he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Reset. 19. I got one. Watch tight end. 3 down. Win the rep. Let's go, right here. Check number 9.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's got Fuller. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 30 yards there.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Check nickel.
Watson now to throw. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
57. Let's go. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michelle. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Michelle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
From the gun on third down, Fields. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now fourth down. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to try and throw. Over the middle, complete. It's James. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Back to throw. Fields. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On first down, Fields. Throw left side, complete. That's James. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Let's go, defense.
From the gun, Fields. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Looking to throw. Fields. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Now he'll pull it down. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Watch the slants. Watch the slant.
Hey, 59.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 46 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Back to throw, Watson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Hill. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And it's Michelle once again. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Come on, baby.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. How about that? Their quarterback, 34 yards. And the Pats able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for 2. They'll run for it with Michelle, and he will get into the end zone as the deficit moves from really bad to slightly less than really bad. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
He finds Hopkins complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Ingram. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. This will be caught just inside the 10. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing now, Watson. Flushed out right, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check.
Operating from the gun. Fields. Now a desperation throw deep. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for 2. They'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
They go play action here on first down. It's complete to Hopkins. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
A gain of 31 yards. First down, Texans.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
Hey, 59. Hey, another touchdown. Let's go.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Looking left side, he's got it complete. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
First down.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, this from 46. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Texans, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they dropped their 7th game on the year, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.